Chapter 138. The Golden Ant is still diligently massaging this second-order mutant snake. In the previous episode they were still alive. Of course, at this level of power it's not easy to die like that. The Golden Ant's punch is full of power. Each punch carries a terrifying force, shaking the space. On this side, Cheesy is also torturing another fire snake with punches carrying cold energy. He is landing critical hits on the snake's neck. The opponent can only scream in pain. The assassin cockroach and the flower god have also killed a fire snake. Preparing to execute their opponent, the snake lies on the ground, completely motionless, because of the assassin cockroach's slashes, although not too powerful, but extremely insidious. All the tendons seem to have been cut. It is sweating profusely, fearfully looking at this executioner. My God, these two losers are being dominated by another fire snake. The two-headed wolf has been captured, and the leopard can only run around in fear. This snake is laughing because it's so easy to win a 1v2, it's unimaginable. Suddenly the sound of tearing air rang out. A sharp black spear rushed over at supersonic speed. Instantly pierced the neck of that huge fire snake. The sound of dry cough rang out. The snake had completely ended its life. Instantly the two-headed wolf and the leopard escaped from danger. Divine Tree made his move. He retracted his tree roots. Blood splattered. The system announced a harvest of 180,000 evolution points, 50,000 spirit points. But in his eyes it was complete disappointment. It was disappointment with those two bottom-of-the-class students. At this moment, suddenly the fire snake lying motionless, seeing its comrade killed, it is its cousin, it went crazy, broke free from the assassin cockroach and the flower god, rushed straight into Divine Tree with a fierce desire for revenge, its mouth opened wide, as if it wanted to fight Divine Tree to the death. But Divine Tree shouted, "Don't know your own strength." Immediately, the snake stopped. Its body is large, but compared to Divine Tree, it is still just a small creature. Divine Tree asked it, "So, do you want to fight anymore?" The fire snake was stunned. Isn't it supposed to fight to the death? They were prepared for death, because basically when beasts fight, there is no negotiation. Seeing these snakes hesitating, Divine Tree immediately burst out with spirit power. The overwhelming power of Divine Tree spread out in space, an absolute oppression, the power of a god. The remaining snakes immediately bowed their heads in respect. Of course we don't want to fight anymore, peace is wonderful. Seeing this, Divine Tree generously praised, "It seems you guys are not too stupid." The nine-tailed fox saw this and calculated that there were quite a few fire system teammates in the Misty Mountain Alliance. And far away, Cheesy was still diligently looking for a phone signal. Anyway, the task was completed, so no one said anything about him. The beautiful girl in the distance, seeing this whole scene, was completely scared to sweat, covering her mouth with one hand and fearfully saying, unexpectedly, "Oh my God, the fire snake tribe was subdued like this. Isn't it too empty?" As soon as she finished speaking, Divine Tree immediately detected a suspicious breath. His eyes immediately narrowed. The girl knew she had been discovered. Her whole body trembled with fear, and in a moment she didn't know how to react. Of course, running is the best strategy, so she turned around and used her snake-like lower body to frantically slide away. But how could she be faster than Divine Tree, a real girl hunter? Wrong, a real beast hunter. In the blink of an eye, the dragon-shaped tree roots blocked the girl's retreat. Without saying much, Divine Tree used his sharp eyes to carefully observe the girl, which made the girl feel embarrassed and scared, perhaps thinking that this was a cunning look that wanted to harass her. The girl looked around and saw Cheesy and the two-headed wolf lying in ambush. Knowing that she was surrounded, the girl couldn't help feeling disappointed, while Cheesy calmly said, "There are people here." Divine Tree loudly corrected Cheesy's words. "This is not a person, it's a human race." Oh, human race and humans seem to be the same. Seeing that Divine Tree is not very clear in his use of language, the beautiful girl with green hair angrily shouted, "I am a snake girl. You guys can't catch me." After speaking, the girl's eyes lit up with a strange green color. The system announced, "This is a small divine skill called Petrifying Gaze. As long as this gaze touches anyone, that person will immediately turn into a stone statue. Perhaps this is a descendant of Medusa." The girl's eyes lit up like a flashlight, shining directly at Divine Tree. Surprisingly, Divine Tree's body is really turning into stone. This also made Divine Tree a little surprised. Seeing this, the girl confidently said, "It's your own fault for seeking death." But she didn't know that at this moment a terrifying face had appeared next to her. It was the nine-tailed fox. Boom! A powerful flame burned the place where the girl was standing. Luckily, she was able to jump into the air to avoid it. It was an extraordinary reaction. At this moment, Cheesy shouted, "It's not good, run!" And he had already pulled the two-headed wolf out of the fire. On this side, the snake girl was still using her petrifying gaze to shine randomly in the air, wanting to destroy the nine-tailed fox. Cheesy and the two-headed wolf hadn't landed yet. They were hit by her gaze on their cloaks. The cloaks immediately turned into stone. Cheesy the panda felt very sad for the loss of the precious cloak that had been with him for so many years. The girl still used her bright eyes like a flashlight to scan the space. But she couldn't hit the nine-tailed fox. She complained helplessly. "The speed of this fox is really too fast." But at this moment, a terrifying gaze appeared behind her. The best of the nine tails is to appear behind, using its speed to overwhelm the opponent, even creating highlights. With weak-minded opponents, she can make them shit their pants. Boom! An attack from the nine-tailed fox, smoke billowing. Has it defeated the opponent yet? Not yet. From within the smoke, a column of green energy is rising fiercely, even throwing the nine-tailed fox far away. The panda saw this scene, immediately opened his mouth in astonishment. He was only amazed by the coolness. Look, a huge green snake soul is wrapping around the body of that snake girl, like Sasuke's Susanoo. The blue-haired girl yelled angrily, "Go to hell!" But here, the nine-tailed fox is not an ordinary one, has summoned its huge firefox soul. The nine tails calmly said, "Not necessarily." This scene is truly magnificent. Two giant beast souls confront each other. The space is filled with spiritual power, increasingly dense. Soon this place will become dust. Breath of Fire was launched. The giant snake also activated the petrifying gaze to neutralize the breath of the firefox. Is it feasible? Of course feasible. Feasible to the point of unbelievable. The nine-tailed fox was also stunned. She did not expect that her fire was also petrified. Too absurd. This made the nine-tailed fox feel insulted. It's too much. If so, the nine-tailed fox decided to launch a bigger destructive move. Fire column was deployed. The entire space began to appear vortexes of column-shaped fire, frantically sweeping everything. Too hot. Even though the attack has not reached the snake girl, but she has felt the indescribable crazy power and heat. She looked at the fire fox and thought, "What's wrong with this fox? Its spiritual power seems endless." Hot, 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 hot. The panda and the fox on both ends could no longer continue to watch this exciting combat, because it was too hot, unbearable. Divine Tree silently observed. He saw that the power of the nine-tailed fox seemed to have advanced a lot. The giant fire columns began to press the giant green snake from all sides. The green snake screamed in pain. Unable to neutralize so many targets at once, it was too helpless. The snake girl quickly retracted into human form, taking advantage of the dust, took the opportunity to escape, because if she continued, she would definitely encounter big trouble. Moreover, the other side had too many strong allies, so, with all her remaining strength, the girl started to rush like flying. But another giant mouth appeared, as fast as lightning rushed towards her. When the snake girl had time to look over, it was when the roots of the divine tree caught her and slammed her into the ground. Oh, it seems a bit overdone. The roots of the tree buried into the ground about 3 meters. Divine Tree looked carefully. In fact, he had been merciful, ensuring not to cause any injuries to the snake girl. But the girl was really miserable, scared to the point of foaming at the mouth, her eyes white, probably thinking she was dead for sure.